Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It is the Tuesday Tunes at 2. I know it feels like a Monday. We were off yesterday, so it feels like Monday. But it is Tuesday, and welcome to the Tuesday Tunes at 2. Our phone number is 732-545-WCTC. Toll-free 1-888-545-WCTC. And listen live at our website, WCTCAM.com. Let's welcome back Bev Beveridge from Jersey Shore Public Relations to the Tuesday Tunes at 2. Bev, good to see you again.
Same.
I love the guy and the music that we were just hearing.
Whisper Wind, I
Holy
love
cow.
that song.
And would you like to introduce our guest who's going to be here?
Oh, I would love to. This is a guy I brought up from the Jersey Shore here, Carl Gentry.
Carl, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was beautiful. That Whispering Wind, talk about that song that we just heard. And welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me. This is really wonderful. Whispering Wind. Well, it's kind of a song about just a positive feeling or a positive message that comes to you, a spirit that basically tells you, look, this is how it is. Not much you can do about it. Just roll with it.
That's it.
That kind of thing.
And make the best out of it, whatever it is. So
that's it.
It's such a clear sound. It's crystal clear. It just kind of comes right through. Is that you try not to complicate things in your music, or is a lot of your music just very, very simple and kind of straightforward?
Well, it depends on the song. I have a little home studio, and I did that in my home studio. And it was actually a demo that I was doing, and I just kind of rolled with what I had. And I thought it sounded fine. I just wanted to leave it the way it is. I was going to add more production to it, and drums, and maybe strings or whatever, but I just decided to keep it simple.
And take this the right way. This is a compliment. John Denver comes to mind when I hear that song. I'm serious.
Oh,
John Denver.
Okay.
I'm a big John Denver fan.
Good.
Me too.
That's what came to mind when I heard that song.
You know, of course, you have the irony of playing "Take Me Home, Country Roads" in New Jersey.
Exactly. So let's get to know Carl Gentry. Where you from originally?
Well, I'm a Middletown boy. And,
Middletown, New Jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was,
beautiful.
That's it. We have about I don't know, 17 different schools in the town and all these different sections. I'm from the New Monmouth section.
Okay.
And I was just saying before we went on air that my biggest claim to fame in my life, I grew up 7 houses down from little Stephen, his parents.
Noisy neighbors, or how were they?
Well, I didn't really know him then. Of course, he was a little bit older than I.
Okay.
But his parents were still living in the house at the time, and family. And of course, his brother was great. Artist and into the theater and everything that. But we would, in the late 70s, early 80s, we would just get so excited to see the limos pull up when Bruce was in town, and they were having a show, and Stephen would come visit his parents and things like that. We're like, oh, Stephen's in town, let's go check it out. And we were like, stalking him now.
Very cool. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Talk about musical influences. Who were you listening to growing up in Middletown, New Jersey?
Well, I tell you what, when I was about 16 or so, I just wanted to be Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
And just rip on the guitar all the time. But I kind of found my own voice. Of course, I don't know anybody that could sing like Robert Plant, because his voice is so high.
Right.
So, I started to find my own voice, and, I really was into singing. I primarily was an instrumentalist, and then I began to sing. And my voice is more fitting of like the Beatles and Billy Joel and maybe some Elton John, things like that. Just kind of fits those that kind of genre. And so, as the years have gone on, I've just kind of developed my own voice just from learning from others and being influenced by those. So many others. I could bore you for about 2 hours about it.
No, please. How about songwriting? Is songwriting something you always were big on as well? Like writing your own material?
Yes, I've always been writing since I was a teenager. I mean, I think I wrote my first song when I was 12. With my first band, we called ourselves the Roman Candles. I don't know why.
That's cool. Okay.
And the songs we wrote had no words, and they just repeated over and over and over again. But hey, it was a song.
Right.
And then as I got into my later teens, I started, adding words, and of course, if I was to listen to those songs now, I'd be like, oh my God, they're so bad.
What was I thinking, right?
Yeah, it's been a real journey. it's such a craft of songwriting, and I really can respect a good songwriter. You know, someone who can really coin the words and make it have meaning,
Yeah.
and also flow with the music. It's not an easy thing to do. So I certainly haven't arrived to where I'd like to be, but I sure am trying.
Well, you got the chops, as they say. I mean, just based on the little music clip that we heard, we're going to hear a lot more of your music over the course of the hour as well. Grow up in a musical household, other family members, parents perhaps, musicians?
Oh yes, my mother was a trained pianist.
Wow.
From the time she was, you know, such a young girl, and you know, we had the piano downstairs. My father was just an absolute music lover. Of course, his music styles and my music styles were two different things. Not like
Usually
today.
it works out that way.
Right. Well, not today. It seems like the kids and the parents today they like the same music.
Parents think they're
Yeah.
cool nowadays.
Yeah, we are cool.
But anyway, my dad, he loved classical music, and so he dragged me once a month. It's terrible. He took me to the symphony, and once a
Wow.
month I had to sit in the audience, and we watched the symphony, and of course they had me taking classical piano lessons since the time I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Me too, Carl.
I
So,
can see that.
yeah, I hear you.
We're gonna have a contest or something.
There we go. I'll bring my keyboard in.
But so yes, music was definitely huge in the household, and I just appreciated that, and it's just been a huge part of my life.
Well, being able to experience the orchestra, you began to appreciate the arrangements and whatnot that went along with that style, right?
Oh sure, absolutely. I mean, at the time I hated it. You know, I really didn't like going to see the symphony or anything like that.
Right.
But you know, now I'm so thankful that my dad,
Yeah.
you know, did that for me. It's just given me such a background, and of course my mother liked the popular music, you know, the standards from the 30s and the 40s and things like that. So you know, I had a good background, and then of course there's Led Zeppelin. You know how that fits right in with
Well,
those two.
yeah, absolutely. Right? Well, cool stuff. Our guest is Carl Gentry on the Tuesday Tunes at 2. He's going to be here until 3 o'clock with us. If you want to give a call and say hello, 732-545-WCTC, or toll free from outside the 732 area code 1-888-545-WCTC. We're going to talk about some gigs he's got coming up, where you can see Carl performing live. Very talented singer-songwriter. He's going to plug some of his appearances coming up, or find out where you can get some of your hands on some of his music as well. But how about a track for us? Carl, you want to do a live song for us first here?
Sure. This song is called Second Street, and it's kind of. You mind if I talk about it for a second?
Of course. No,
Okay,
go right
yeah.
ahead.
All right. I don't want to just pontificate here. You know? There's a good word. But
Radio, pontificate. It's okay.
Sounds great.
but anyway, this is a song. You know, you remember hearing about the eminent domain. You know, over the years, different places of the shore that were experiencing you know, some blight and issues like that. And this is kind of taken from the perspective of a homeowner who had to deal with the possibility of having their home taken away from them, and just the sense of home just being so important, and not wanting to let go of it.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Carl Gentry on the Tuesday Tunes at 2 on New Jersey Today.
I got a green '69 Camaro parked next to the curb, and an upside down fishing boat next to a feeder for the hummingbirds. My front porch has 2 rocking chairs, a couch, and lots of memories. It's the place that I call home, and where I want to be. I built it with my hands. It's my promised land. It's the place I call my own. No one can take that away from me. It's where my wife and me raised a family. My roots are dug in deep, and this is where I wanna be, on 2nd Street. Our neighborhood is next to tenements and a frozen factory. Its smokestacks have been silent since 1983. A notice came out yesterday telling all the neighborhood we gotta get out by the 3rd of July and leave this place for good. I built it with my hands. It's my promised land. It's a place I call my own. No one can take that away from me. It's where my wife and me raise a family. My roots are dug in deep. This is where I wanna be, on 2nd Street. I'm gonna fight like hell to make more memories in this place I've called my own. Since I was 13, I wanna raise my kids the way my mom and dad raised me, on the only land in the world that just belongs to me. It's where I grew up. It's where I found love. It's the place I call my own. No one can take that away from me. It's where my wife and me raise a family. My roots are dug in deep, and this is where I wanna be, on 2nd Street. 2nd Street. 2nd Street.
All right.
Oh, boy. You can relate to that back
Man,
there, right?
good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you.
Man, oh man, you're so young guy, you're so culturally aware. Talking about eminent domain and whatnot, man, oh man. Good stuff. Carl Gentry, our guest on the Tuesday Tunes at 2 here on New Jersey Today. Questions or comments for him, 732-545-WCTC or 1-888-545-WCTC. I'm hearing that Billy Joel thing, man, that you were talking about there. That was
Cool.
it, man. I'm hearing that right there. Good stuff. Lots more coming up with him. We do have our contest coming up a little bit later on this hour as well. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to next Monday night's one-night-only event with actress Tyne Daly at the George Street Playhouse. We'll give you a chance to win those coming up a little bit later on this hour. Lots more coming up with Carl Gentry on the Tuesday Tunes at 2, but right now your Central Jersey weather.